will now be recorded.
So hi all, before I start the demo, okay, let me introduce myself. I have overall 16 years of experience. I started my career with Abap, okay. Then I moved to SAPUI5 and Fiori, Abap Odata. I worked on various S4 Hana implementation projects, okay. And I'm also working on the BTP, and I'm working on various services on BTP, okay, like mobile services, like integration suite, okay, like SAP Build WorkZone, SAP Build Process Automation, SAP Build Code. Okay, there are a lot of services which SAP Cloud Transport Management, SAP CI/CD. There are a lot of services which I worked on BTP, and also I'm working on Agentic AI also in BTP. Okay, so this is my experience. Okay, then coming to the training from past almost I'm just muting. Okay, so from past almost 10 years. From past 10 years, I'm giving training on various topics like SAP UI5, Fiori, Abap Odata, Freely Elements, okay, RAP on BTP, on premises, S4 HANA, in-app and side-by-side extensions, and then CAPM, Node.js, JavaScript, and BTP. I worked on various services. I'm giving training on BTP. Okay, so this is my training experience, and I'm giving training on integration suite also, SAP integration suite also. Okay, so this is my training experience, and let us get into the demo on SAP Fiori and UFI and OData. Okay, so now today agenda. I'll quick start with SAP evolutions. Okay, so we will discuss about the from starting date to till today what evolutions has come in SAP. That is what which I'm going to discuss. Okay, Fiori overview. Okay, what is Fiori, and what is it overview which I'm going to discuss. Okay, now coming to the what is Fiori, right? So SAP, how it has shifted from old approach to the Fury, how it has happened. Everything we are going to discuss. Okay. Then we will discuss about SAP UFI. So what is SAP UFI? And using this technology, okay, what we are going to do. Okay. So we said that we are SAP Fury applications, but then what is the role of the SAP UI5? Okay. So what is its role? That is what which we are going to discuss. Then coming back to the OData. So using the OData protocol, how we are going to expose the data from the SAP system to the outside world. What is OData? That is what we were going to discuss. And SAP NetWeaver Gateway, and one use case demo, and BTP interaction. Right? So these are the topics which I will be covering in the today's agenda. Clear? Any? Okay. So let us move further on this. Okay. So now let us get into the evolutions. Okay. So now what evolutions? So anyone tell me why SAP has done during 19 region, okay, why SAP has not come into the browser and went only to the GUI? Why they have developed the GUI? Anyone please tell me why SAP has not used the browser? Why SAP has developed its own GUI? Anyone please tell me why SAP has developed its own GUI? Anyone knows why SAP developed its own GUI? So during SAP GUI was developed during 1970s. Okay.
Sorry, Avi, your voice is not clear. I'm not sure because your voice is on in between some.
Okay. So, but Prashant, for you also, my voice is very low. Hello. Clear? Now clear?
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
Now it's better.
Okay, great. Thanks. So now what I'm planning to tell you, right? Why SAP has developed own GUI instead of going to the browser? Because the reason behind is SAP has not introduced the browser at 1970 because this GUI was developed during 1970s. So that time there is no browser. So browser was not there. So that is the reason SAP has developed its own GUI. What is that? SAP has developed its own GUI during 1970. The reason behind is, okay, the reason behind is there is no browser at that time. So during that time, what is the architecture which SAP is following during that time? What is the architecture which SAP is following? Okay, they used to have SAP GUI and they used to have a application server during 1970. Application server. Okay, then they used to have a SAP GUI during 1970s. Okay, so if what here it's happening is everyone knows that is in SAP GUI. Okay, whenever we open any transaction code, it used to send the request to the application server. Okay, okay, then application server used to response and due to the SAP GUI. SAP GUI. Okay, response. Okay, so this is what which SAP was doing during 1970. Okay, now what is the protocol which they are following for whenever they try to open SC11? Okay, what is the protocol which is sending the request perfect and you're getting the response perfect? But what is the protocol which SAP is following? Is a protocol is DIAG protocol. So during 1970s, so there is a protocol which they are following is that DAG protocol. Okay, so when they are fetching the data from SAP GUI and we are using some transactions like VA01, SC37, FB0, etc. Okay, in this one, whenever the screen, whenever it is GUI is sending the request, the application server it's sending the response back to the GUI using the protocol DAG. Correct. So now what is DAG? Yes, it is a protocol. Okay, dynamic information action gateway. So what is DAG stands for? Dynamic information action gateway. It is a protocol. Using this protocol, SAP GUI used to send the request to the application server and the application server sends back the response back to the GUI, and that is the reason they're able to see the screens. Okay, because the application server understands the DAG protocol and responds DAG, and the GUI understands the DAG, and finally we get the results. So this is the architecture which the 1970s, during 1970s they are following it. Okay, then in coming to the 1990s, okay, browser revolution has started. Okay, and that is then the SAP started moving from the SAP GUI to ITS. Okay, it is a browser based application. Instead of GUI, we can use a browser during 1990s. Okay, what protocol is used to interact browser to an application? We know everyone knows the browser to an application. The protocol is HTTP protocol, and it's a big challenge to the SAP because browser understands the HTTP, whereas SAP understands the DAG protocol. Okay, and what solution can provide to SAP and how to use the browser? So that is the reason. What is the architecture which they have done during 1990s is, let's come back. Okay, so they used to have SAP GUI. Okay, they used to have application server, and they used to have ITS browser, and they used to have one called convert. Okay, so SAP GUI. Okay, then here it is application server. Okay, then here it is the ITS browser. Okay, and here is a converter. What this converter will do? HTTP to DAG and DAG to HTTP. Okay, so now we know that browser understands only HTTP, where SAP understands the DAG. So whenever browser try to open in a transaction, okay, then it goes to hit to this converter. This is the request. Okay, then this converter will convert the HTTP to the DAG, okay, and sends to the application server. Then this application server sends the request to the GUI, okay, and then GUI will send the response to the application server, and then application server sends to the converter, and this converter will convert DAG to the HTTP, and then it sends the response to the ITS browser. Then we are able to open the transaction code. So this is the architecture which they are following during 1990s. I have to follow this architecture because I cannot change the application server in 1990s, because the browser revolution had come and people are getting used to the browser and they're happy to use browser instead of GUI because of the look and feel. So this is the architecture which they're following during 1990s. So now what they do in 1990s, they had to install ITS web browser separately and they can use the ITS transactions. So this is what which they have done in during 1990s. Okay, ITS mainly works like SAP GUI only. We can open only some transactions. It is meant only for transactions. And drawback by using ITS is we can open only limited transactions in the browser like SC11, VA01. It is except that's all. It is meant for transactions only. We can just open the transactions. That's all. Then instead of ITS, they started using ICF. Okay, so you might have seen the transaction SCCF, correct? So which framework which we are using is the Internet Communication Framework called ICF. Yes, it is a framework which contains the Internet Communication Framework, where which is a combination of the application server plus ICF. Means what they did, right? They have combined these two into one, which is called ICF, Internet Communication Manager. Okay, so what we used to do with that is that we used to start developing the BSP and WebDynpro applications using this architecture. Okay, WebDynpro, yes, we know that we can very easily develop WebDynpro applications. If you want to develop a sales order application, then it is very easy because we have function models. And also WebDynpro is very minimal code and fast development. Correct. So now what is the, okay, we are talking about advantage, but what is the disadvantage of using WebDynpro? So disadvantage of using WebDynpro is a client side validations, and problem with WebDynpro is the standard UI, and beautifying UI is not much flexible. See, if you look at WebDynpro applications, the UI is not that much good when compared to the other technologies. And it is a not a client side programming, it is a server side programming. WebDynpro. Okay, so there is no client side validations only. Any if you want to validate any field, it always hit to the server. Okay, because there is no client side validation, everything it's servers only, because SAP is a server programming, right? So it is lot of performance issues, and you cannot open these WebDynpro applications in the mobile or tablet. You can open WebDynpro applications only in the desktop, and the UI you look, it's not at all up to the mark when compared to the other technologies. Clear? So now what we can do? This is the drawback. Correct? Yes or no? So instead of okay, not able to use the beautifying UI with the help of WebDynpro, then next we have option is called PSP. BSP. Okay, BSP stands for the business server page. Yes, it has inbuilt HTML libraries where we can use those libraries. We can build very beautification UI. And but again, the drawback for that BSP is you cannot do fast development using BSP. Okay, it's very slow. It will take a time process when you're developing BSP applications. Then SAP has used called SAP WUI, Web User Interface. What is that they did? They have mixed the BSP and WebDin Pro into one because BSP has a lot of libraries UI, but the fast development is not possible. Whereas WebDin Pro, fast development is not possible. UI is not good. So they combine these two, they come up with SAP WI, which is called SAP Web User Interface. By using WebDin Pro, I can get data easily, but with the combination of BSP plus WebDin Pro, will have flexibility on user interface and also on data from backend to the model. Right? But what exactly I'm saying that BSP plus WebDin Pro will give flexibility on user interface and develop the applications easily. Then what is the problem? Then that is the reason SAP has went to a CRM and WebUI, and also during that time it is very popular in the market also. And the user interface was good and extensibility also. But what is the problem? Whenever we want to develop this WebUI, there are a lot of layers are there required to set up. So okay, we have BSP is there, we have WebDim Pro is there, we have Genial is there. There are a lot of layers is there to develop. Okay, as an ABAPer, it will be very difficult to develop the one small application using this WebUI. And one more disadvantage of using this WebUI is the animation kind of stuff is not possible using this technology, WebUI. So that is a reason SAP has come out from the WebUI and they went to the SAP Wi-Fi Fiori. Yes, final goal is to run the business. And when compared to the other technologies, SAP is always back because of web UI and everything. So that is the reason SAP has come with SAP Fury. And there was a big paradigm shift and there's a big revolution happened in this because of this SAP Fury. Because they SAP has to listen to the cloud and they have a lot of competitors outside. So SAP has to listen because that is the reason SAP UFI and SAP has come into the picture. SAP had to came back. They're listening to the client, and they had a big paradigm shift from SAP GUI to the SAP UFI. Clear? Any questions, guys? Anyone have any questions, guys? Is it clear? So this is the revolutions happen from starting to till date. Clear? Now next. Yes, SAP revolution happened. Okay, so from past 40 years of experience, what user interface required, they went to the user and taken approval, and what user interface required. It's all research R&D they have done, and then the SAP Fury has come into the picture. Okay, what is SAP Fury? In today's business environment, user faces many challenges in the hunt for timely, up-to-date informations. Means, see, whenever we used to have a GUI, we cannot open anywhere, anytime. We need to connect to the particular network. We need to have SAP GUI installed. We need to open. Correct. But coming to that is a big challenge to the SAP. In addition, accessible to this information and any way, any time is vital to their ability to make faster and smarter decisions. Of course, when they are in the train, when they are in the bus, when they are in the opening mobile, they have to open the applications so that business can take the decisions faster, smarter decisions. So for that, the answer is Fury. Clear? So what is the origin of the Fury? Okay, so yes, we introduced why. Now, what is the origin of the theory? So, when research was concluded, okay, it was found that most of the SAP users uses SAP user interfaces to access the applications. Okay, then this included common applications related to the manager-employee interaction such as leave request, travel request, etc. Okay, SAP GUI has more than 3 lakh screens with various functions in it. So SAP checked the most of the frequently used application and decided to rename this application. This is how the SAP Fiori is. So SAP GUI has around 3 lakh screens. So what SAP Fiori was that one by one GUI screen they're converting to SAP Fiori applications. So this is where the origin of the Fiori started. Clear? Any questions? No. Next. So now what is SAP Fiori? People think that SAP Fiori is a technology. No, SAP Fiori it is not a technology. Then what is it? It is a platform. No, SAP Fiori is not a platform. Then what it is? It is a user interface provided by SAP software. It's just a user interface guidelines. That's all. Okay, it is responsive. Whenever you say SAP Fiori application, it should automatically should open in the desktop. It should automatically open to the tablet. It should automatically should open to the mobile device. Then only we call it as SAP Fiori application. It is open. You bring any technology. If you follow the guidelines of the SAP Fiori, then it is SAP Fiori applications. Okay, personalization settings. Okay, so what do you mean by personalization settings is the end user himself can do any changes. Okay, so that is called the personalization settings. Okay, so finally SAP Fiori, it is not a technology, it is not a platform, it is just a guidelines to the develop the user interface using SAP. Is it clear, guys? Any questions here? Okay, no questions. Next. Okay, we said the SAP Fiori applications. Then what was we said that if you follow the guidelines of the SAP Fiori, then SAP Fiori application. Then what are those guidelines? Okay, what are the design principles to develop a user interface? The application should be rule based, designed for you, your needs, how you work. Until the role is assigned to a user ID, you will not able to access the application. That is called role based. That is the guidelines of SAP Fiori. Responsive. Whenever you say Fiori application, it should automatically support to the desktop. It should automatically support to the tablet. It should automatically support to the mobile devices. Then only it is called Fiori applications. Simple. Focus on important. See, if you look at the transaction codes VA01 or ME21, a lot of tabs, a lot of fields, too much confusing. But when coming to the SAP Fiori application, it only fields will appear which are very important. And it is which the application which you are developing should be very simple. It looks very simple. That is called the simple. Coherent provides one fluid and seamless experience. See, if you look at the VA01 screen is different, and ME21 screen is different, and then FB01 screen is different. So there are different complete looks. The UI looks different. But whenever you are talking Fiori application, we should have one fluid seamless experience. We should have only one. Okay, one fluid seamless experience, so the end user will not get confused for all the creating. Okay, everything will be looking one template only, they will not go for another, so it will look, end user will not get confused. So provides one fluid and seamless experience. So delightful, so the makes an emotional connection. So whenever the application is such a delightful, the end user will have emotional connection to work on it. So if you follow this all these guidelines, then it is called SAP Fiori application. Is it clear? Next. So yes, we discussed about the guidelines of the SAP Fiori. We discussed about the overview of SAP Fiori, origin of the SAP Fiori. Now let us understand the what is SAP Fiori architecture. Okay, so whenever we open a mobile, we have apps. In the same way, whenever we open the SAP Fiori Launchpad, we'll be able to see the apps. Okay, so what is SAP Fiori Launchpad? SAP Fiori Launchpad provides end user an entry point to access all the Fiori applications in a role-based, consistent, and user-friendly manner. So when there will be URL, you will hit to the URL, and it will open to the user ID, prompt to user ID and password. You will give the user ID and password and hit submit. Then whatever the applications which are assigned to the user ID only will be able to see the here apps. Okay, so that is the reason. Provide Fiori Launchpad provides an end user an entry point to access the Fiori application in a role-based, consistent, user-friendly manner. So tiles showing dynamic tiles, real-time tiles, and live tiles. What do you mean by dynamic tiles? Suppose see you have a timesheet and you have a count, means you have a timesheets which you need to approve 30. So when you go inside and try to approve one timesheet, and you come back and see, you will see 29. So you will be able to see the count. Okay, so coming back to the tile show live real-time application information also it will be shown, like statuses, KPIs, we will be able to see. Search is also there, search bar, you will search the apps. So this is how it looks. The Fiori Launchpad is an entry point to access the Fiori applications. So this is how it looks in desktop, tablet, and mobile devices. Next. So yes, we understood what is the Fiori. We understood what is the guidelines of the Fiori. Now, what is SAP UFI? Okay, so now yes, there should be a technology to develop Fiori applications. The technology using is SAP UI5. Open source, you bring in anything, it will work open source. Browser compatibility means if you try to open the application in the browser like Google Chrome, the way it looks in the Internet Explorer is the same. So it is browser compatibility. Any device, whenever you develop a SAP UFI technology applications, it automatically supposed to the desktop, it automatically supposed to the mobile, it automatically supposed to the tablet. So this is the guidelines of the Fiori. Means SAP UFI is following the guidelines of the SAP Fiori. So that is the reason all our SAP Fiori applications are developed using SAP UFI. And it has powerful theming and branding, and efficiency and performance also good. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? Is it clear, guys? You guys are understanding? Okay. Now, components of SAP Fiori UFI applications. What is SAP UFI? What is Odata? And what is NetWeaver Gateway? Okay. So let us go back. What is SAP UFI? SAP UFI is a technology we are using. Okay, using this technology, and we are developing our applications. Okay, and all the Fiori applications are developed using SAP UFI as of now and following the guidelines of the Fiori. Open source, no need to pay if I'm using UFI. Browser compatibility, it is whenever you develop SAP Fiori UFI application, it automatically supposed to the all the devices, all the browsers. Okay, any device, whenever you develop any SAP UFI application, it automatically supposed to the mobile, it automatically supposed to the tablet, it automatically supposed to the desktop. And SAP UFI has very powerful theming and branding, and we can also customize it. And efficiency performance was very good when compared to the WebDynpro BSP because SAP uses HTML and JavaScript, okay, programming language. And it understands only HTML and JavaScript. There is no interpreter because it is a programming language. Okay, so whatever we are developing application, that need to be done in JavaScript and HTML. Is it clear? So that is the reason SAP UI is only user interface, and it contains UI and that shows up the data. We know that. Okay, data is available in SAP database, and we have to show the data in SAP UFI, and it can be done by OData. Okay, through using OData, we will be able to consume the data in SAP UFI, and then we will be able to display. So SAP UFI sends the request to the SAP and gets a response from SAP to SAP UFI. Okay, and data services is SAP UFI is trying to consume the OData services, and it will be able to display the data. Is it clear? Any questions? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to log into the BTP. Before logging into the BTP, so let us understand what I'm going to do. Okay, so now you have here SAP UI5 applications, SAP UI5, and you have your S4HANA system. Okay, and this is your SAP S4HANA database, and this is your gateway. Okay, and this here is your applications. Then save button. Okay, now SAP UI5, that is a front-end technology, SAP UI5, okay, will send the request to this S4HANA system. This is our S4HANA or EC system, whatever maybe, or ECC system. And this is the S4HANA database. Okay, and this is the SAP NetWeaver gateway. Okay, now here, So whenever user sends a request, it will be in the Odata request. Follows the Odata protocol, which is HTTP. Okay, so whenever it sends a request to the SAP NetWeaver, you'll be able to send the response, right? First thing, it goes to the NetWeaver, and from the NetWeaver code, you're going to the table and getting the data from the table. Okay, this is a request. So you'll write the above code, okay, and you will get the response. Okay, so in this SAP NetWeaver gateway, we will develop the Odata services. Okay, and then we will develop the DPC and MPC, and which will generate a service. And this OData service will generate a OData service, nothing but URL. So this OData URL only will be consumed in SAP UFI. So we're sending the request and response in the form of OData URL. Okay, so now what we are going to do, right? Okay, so here, okay, so we are going to consume this. First we will do this part. Okay, so now I'm going back to the server. Okay, I'm going to the SAP login pad. I'm going to the system, SAP system. Okay, then here I'm going to SC11 T code. I have one table called Jet Fiori Abap. Of course, it don't have as of now, not a single data. Okay, so now what we will do, right? We are going to get, I'll just create some entries in this table now. Okay, so now go, okay, 1 second. Create entries. So product name I'm giving as laptop, quantity 1, price, shipper name Amazon, shipper date is something. Okay, then status is a, and I'm just saving this data. Insert. Now I'll go to keep it here. Mouse, Flipkart, and then I'll save it. Then water bottle. Then here Amazon. I'm just saving it. Perfect. Now if you look at this one, it has some data. Correct. Now this is the table. Here I have. This is the table. Now I'm going to create, I have to generate a OData that can be consumed in SAP UFI, right? Now I'm going to the SAP NetWeaver gateway. Then I'm going to the T code SCGW. Okay, and I'll generate a OData services. Correct. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to the T code SCGW. Okay, then I'm going to create a package project. Okay, I'm just saving it. Save it. Now I'm going to go to the data model. I'm going to create, let's not focus too much down. Let's understand outer part. I'm creating entity type. Okay, I'm just giving Jet Fiori 81. Then I'm having an entity set. This is our entity set. Press. Okay, so now for this one, I'm going to expose the data to the outside world. I'm creating the few fields. Okay, which I'm getting the field names from this one. Okay, now I'm making this as the product name as the primary key. Okay, then here I'm going to select EDM string. Most of the time we always select EDM string. Okay, okay, then I'm giving the label name also, and above field names also. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just save it. Okay, I'm just going to regenerate it. Whenever I do regenerate, it is going to create MPC and DPC classes. MPC stands for the model provider class. DPC stands for data provider class. So all the data related runtime data will be under DPC ext extensions, and all the field levels, everything will be MPC extensions. So I'm just saving it. Okay, so where now I'm going to the service runtime artifacts. I'm getting into the dpcxt. I'm going to the workbench. So for whenever we go, okay, here for every entity which you have created, there will be 5 methods will be created. One is called the create entity, will create a record. See, this is the entity set name. No? Another is delete entity, delete a record, and get entity, get a single record, and get entity set will get more than one record, and update entity will update the record. As of now, we are focusing get entity set that will give more than one record. Okay, I'm selecting, I'm clicking on change button. I'm just copying the code because this is a demo. That is the reason I'm copying the code. Okay, so now what we are going to do, right? Let's 1 second. Okay, I'm just getting the code. This I'm just copying paste. This is the demo. I'm just copying the code. That's all. If normal class, I will be writing each line of code. Okay. Okay. So now I'm just copying this code. This is nothing, just getting the data from this table and just sending into, that's all. Okay, I'm just here, and what I'm going to do, I'm just activating this one. Perfect. So now what it is doing, it is getting the data from this table and inserting into the internal table. I'm looping this internal table, and I'm passing to the et underscore entity set. Here et underscore entity set is your export parameter, and its type, you see it went to M, and see this is the one. Click on this button and then click on this one, and these are the fields which you added in the property section. This is MPC. Okay, perfect, done. Now we have completed the DPC. We have redefined this method, and it is also done. What I'm going to do, right, I'm going to put a breakpoint here. Okay, external breakpoint on it will work. Perfect, done. Now I will go back. Then here I have a service name. Okay, I will be going to the T code slash develop maintain service T code, and I will register the service. Once I register, it will generate a OData service for us. Okay, I'm clicking on, see, come back. Just close this one. So now I went to the gateway T code as HTTP T code. I have developed the DPC, MPC. I have redefined the method, which will then I'm going to register the service. Okay, once I register the service, click on add service. Don't think too much. Let us later in the class, I will explain each one. Okay, so I'm just pasting my service name, press enter. Okay, select the service, click on add selected service, and register the service. Once we register, it is going to generate a OData service URL. Click back button. Okay, then click on filter button. We have registered now, it will be here. So paste in there and press enter. Okay, now click on gateway client to test it at a OData developer. And here you select the entity set which you have created. This is the entity set, and just execute. When I execute, it is going to call my get entity set method. See, it called. Okay, I'm getting the data. So now it is in the table. You see 3 records. Okay, double click on it, and you're able to see. Now I'm pressing F8. See, it is coming 3 records. Now also I can open in the browser also. Call browser. Hello. Enter your username and password of your SAP system. Okay, and here you give your entity set and press enter. Okay, so debugger triggered. You see, I'm pressing F8. Data is coming. So now this is the URL. This is your HTTP URL, which I'm going to using in SAP UFI. I'm going to display the data. Okay, this is the Odata URL. So now, yes, this part is completed. Okay, what we did, we have a data in Hana based database. Then we have went to the SAP NetWeaver. In SCGW, we created the project. We added the fields to the properties section, which is generated the DPC MPC. And then in the DPC, we have redefined this method. And then we are able to successfully get the data. Any questions, guys, until now? Is it clear? You guys are understanding? Any questions? Anyone have any questions? No questions. Okay, and then let's move to the this section. So now I'm going to the BTP. I'm going to open the Business Application Studio to develop the SAP UI5 applications. Okay. Get inside into the sub account. Okay, then go to instances, Business Application Studio, and go to applications. Okay, so now if you look at this, okay, so what you can do, right? Okay, so now you don't have a connectivity between your on-premises system to the here. Okay, so what I will do, right, let me go, because we have to do a setup between connection between your on-premises system and then to BTP to consume the OData service. Okay, I will show you this. This account does not have, but I have another account which has that setup. That is what which I'm going to show you now. Okay, instead of doing from the scratch, because this is a demo, so that is the reason little bit fast. We are going to do get that. 1 second, just give me 1 minute. I will open that account, BTP account. Just give me 1 second. I'm just checking which has that connection. Okay, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'm just opening the account which has the connection between the S4 HANA and then with BTP. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Perfect. I'm sharing my screen back. Okay, So this is the connection which is there to your BTP. See, this is the location ID and which has the connection to your on-premises system. You see, backend exposed systems. Okay, now how is using the cloud connection? Leave about those connections. Let's not focus on those connections. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the services, go to the instance subscriptions, then I'm going to develop a application, Fiori application, business application studio. Clear? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this section. To develop the Fiori applications, okay, we have to using some SAP UFI business application studio to develop the UFI applications. So that is what I'm going to the business application studio in BTP, and then I'm going to develop the Fiori applications. Okay, I'm just getting inside. Click OK. Any questions, guys? Until now, you guys are understanding or anything confusing? So this is a BAS tool where we are going to use this BAS tool and here we are going to develop the applications. What is we are going to do? Develop Fiori applications. Okay, then create dev space. So we are creating this dev space to develop the Fiori applications. Okay, so now it is start, it will be getting in process. Okay, so any questions until now, guys? Is it clear? You guys are understanding or confusing? Hello? Any questions, guys? No questions. Okay. Are you there, guys? Prashant, Pratap?
Yes, Bobby. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah, okay, thanks. Okay, just mute yourself. So now in the business application studio, it is still it should be in progress. Then only it will be green. Then will be getting hand icon. Then when I click it, we are going inside the BAS. Okay. In the meantime, I'll just show you Cloud Connector also. So Cloud Connector is a secure tunnel to access the Fiori applications or Odata service. Okay, not access Fiori, it's Odata. Sorry. It is in still it is starting. Site. Yeah, now it is running. See, hand icon is displaying. I'm getting inside the my project. BAS. I'm getting inside the BAS. Yeah. This is I'm inside, but let's not go too much. This is a demo. Just go a little bit fast. Okay, because running out of time. Okay, so now open folder. I'm going to the projects. I'm clicking OK. So now what we are going to develop a Fiori application using SAPUI5 technology. Okay, so now yes, 3 lines. You can see what I'm planning to do. This is this section which I'm doing it. Okay, so now click on these 3 lines. File, new project from template. So here you see you have SAP Fiori generator. Select it. Click start. And you see I'm planning to develop freestyle application. Click on this one. Click next. Okay, data source. Yes, I have to get the data right. BAS does not. It is a front-end development only. So I'm trying to connect to the system. Which system? Okay, I'm trying to connect to my, you see, destination which I have created. Okay, so it will get the destination is not there. Okay. full name, it is the RFC destination. Okay, so now we have to create one destination. Okay, click on create. From the scratch, create it. Okay, so now I'm just giving yes for demo 80. Okay, so now here I will select HTTP, and here I will select proxy type as on premises, because I'm trying to connect to the on premises. Okay, then here URL and location ID. Now when I will go to my here, okay, now you can see there is a cloud connector is there. See, now if you look at this one, so this is the 90s 196, right? This one. Okay, so now it is link interrelated. So now you see location ID is there. I'm copying this location ID and I am pasting it here. Okay, so now for this one I have connected to my on premises system. See, this is the one which I connected to my on premises system. So now you can see I'm just have this virtual host name. Okay, I'm copying that, I'm pasting it http column / paste it. Okay, here I'm going to use basic authentication, where I'm going to use my username and password. Perfect. Okay, this is my SAP system. Now I have to add additional properties here, okay, to consume the my data. So I have detailed during my training. I will explain those things again. Okay, this all the things I will be explaining, and I have very good detailed documentation how to do this setup. This is what which I'm going to show you. Okay, 1 second, I'm just going to that. So now I need to consume my OData service, which is in on-premises system, right? So now to consume that OData service, I can consume through a cloud connector with a secure tunnel with the connect to the destination. So now I'm going to create the destination and consume this OData services. Okay, I'm sharing back. Okay, so see, this is the document which we will be discussing during my training. Okay, so now you see, I'm just adding additional properties. HTML dynamic. So HTML dynamic destination, I'm just giving true. These are the properties. Okay, then add one more property. What is that? HTML timeout. Next, then SAP client. What is my SAP client here? It is 800. Okay, then web ID enable true. Web ID enabled true. Okay, then web ID system, your system you have to give. Web ID system, what is my system here? It is CHP. You have to give CHP. Okay, then last, what type of data you are planning to expose? Okay, here it is there. Odata underscore abap, comma, and dev underscore abap. Done. Then click on create. Okay, here you have to give web ID usage. Then click on create. Okay, then we can check connection. Check connection. It is reachable. See how it will be reachable. I'll tell you. So this is the destination. This is rerouting this URL for this. Okay, what is this URL? is nothing but in the cloud connector this. So what is this? This is nothing but your SAP system. See 192.168.1093 is your, you can, I'm just right click, properties. See 192.168.1093. So where it is getting linked, see this is your sub account. Okay, see to this sub account, this is the location ID, and sorry, this is the location ID and this is the username. That is what interconnected. Now it is connected. So now I'll just close it. Now I'll click 3 lines, file, new project from template. Okay, then select the SAP Fiori generator, click start, basic freestyle development. Yes, now I want to consume the data from the SAP system. That is a system, connect to a system. So now here I have to select my destination, which I have created just now. See, destination. So that destination is rerouting to the cloud connector, and the cloud connector is rerouting to your SAP system. So now I'm going to the OData service which I have developed is what? Yes, this is the OData service. Copy this one and then just paste the service. So I'm consuming the OData service from an on-premises system to the BTP, which is internet facing through a secure tunnel. Click next. Okay, view one, click next. Okay, I'm just creating the project. Okay, I'm just giving demo UI5 some name. Okay, then I'm just giving the title as product. Okay, then I'm clicking finish button. So now what I did, I am trying to consume this OData service through a destination. Yes, I created the project, you see. So now it is creating project, we'll just wait. Then just close this. Yeah, it's opening, just close it. Okay, now let's not get too much detail. I'll open this project individually. Open folder, projects, and demo UI. Click OK. Okay, now get inside to the web app folder, and then you have, let's not go too much technical, and you have a manifest.json. Okay, in the is a configuration file. All the configurations will put it. So now you see data source, main source, and this is your URL. And this URL, okay, is link consumed through destination. That is what which you have seen, right? So I have consumed this service. Now little bit scroll down, you have a model section. Okay, in that you see you have a data source. I'm just giving a model name as invoice 2. Okay, let us. So invoice 2 is linked to your data source main service. So main service is linked to your OData URL. Okay, then this OData URL is linked to, is how it has come from destination, and this destination link is linked to this URL. This URL is linked to your this one and this one, and yeah, which is the URL CPS for Hana, correct? Yeah. So CPS, this URL is connected to your internal host, your SAP system. Any questions, guys? Is it clear? So this is the demo. I'm just copying pasting the code. Generally in my training, I will write each line of the code. Okay. So now, yes, I have the manifest. Just now I showed you. Invoice 2, I have to give a model name. I'm giving some, yeah. Okay. So now this is the data source. You see, this is the data source. Same thing. So now I'm going to give a model name. Okay, so I'm going here. You see here, this is your model name. invoice to and data source. Here I'm going to give one model. Okay, v2 model I'm giving type. Perfect. Now I will be going to my view folder. It has created the app.view.xml. Inside this I'm calling view. Okay, I'm just copying pasting the code because of the time. This is the demo, that is the reason. Okay, so now I'm just copying pasting the code. Okay, it is already there. Complete. Okay, so just to give quick fix, generate an entire file. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm creating a table. Okay, now you see invoice2 is your model name in the manifest.json. Invoice2 is a model name. It is linked to your data source, v2 Odata model, main service. Main service is linked to your Odata. Okay, so now and this is our entity set name. Okay, so it should be same name, just making sure. So this is your entity set. Copy this one and just paste it. Okay, so if you look at this one, you see that this is I have given the service. This is up to, it's already there here. It is here. Okay, and then it has the entity set. That is what I kept here. Entity set invoice2 is your model name. Under the model name data source here, and data source has OData. You are perfect. And these are the, I'm planning to display the table data table. These are the column names, and these are the invoice2 is model name and product name. Should be the same name. Huh? Should be same name. I think quantity all are uppercase. Let's see, these are all uppercase. Extended. Make sure that it should be the same name. Quantity fine. Extended price is come shipper. Perfect. Now this part is done. Okay, so let's not go too much detail here. Okay, now I will just click on this three dots, run configurations. So create configurations, and I'm planning to execute this project. Okay, select. Let's not go too much detail. I'm just endpoint. I'm just giving index.html. Save it. We'll discuss why each one during the training. Then I'm just running it. That's a pop-up blocked. Just having yellow. Okay, I'm just rerunning again. Okay. It's taking time. I'll just wait. Okay. So it is opening. You see. Okay. So now you see it is debugger has been triggered. If you go back and see debugger has been triggered, you see. I'll just press F8. Okay. Now come back. It is displaying data. Clear? Any questions? So now I was able to successfully get this OData URL and I'm displaying the data. Any questions, guys? Is it clear? Any questions, guys? Okay, no questions. So let's come back. Yes, we discussed about the SAP UI5. We developed UI5 applications. We developed today, we consumed the OData and we have generated the OData using NetWeaver Gateway. Now coming back to the, yes, where we developed this front-end development, where we have done in the business application studio. Where is that business application studio? It is in BTP. What is BTP? So BTP, it is a platform which SAP is providing for us to planning to build innovative solutions to leverage new technologies like blockchain, machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, analytics, now agentic AI, etc. So SAP BTP is one of the best platform available in the market. It also provides many out of the integrations, options, built-in software, SDKs, S4 HANA, and everything. So SAP is not only providing this. For example, you developed a Fiori application, web application, and you want to convert that application to mobile app. You can use mobile service in BTP to convert that very easily. Now you want to do integrate from one system to another system. You can use CPI. Okay, and you want to have a SAP build WorkZone. That's it acts as a Fiori launchpad. So there are a lot of services which SAP is providing. So using these services, you can build out of the box solutions. Not only that, you can bring in any language SAP is going to provide you. Your SAP you're able to execute that. That, for example, if you want to run a C, you require a C compiler. If you want to run a Java, you require a JRE. Similarly, if you want to run a ABAP program, you require a ABAP runtime. So that runtime environment is provided by BTP. So this is we called as service as platform also. You bring any language, I'm going to support it. So not only services, you bring any technology and any programming language which I'm going to support. That is we call it as bring your own language. Okay, so now, yes, SAP BTP is a platform that powers you to become an intelligent enterprise through integrations. You can do extensions, you can do data to value from all the SAP as well as third party applications also. Okay, so what is this? See now, if you look at this one, okay, so if you look at this one, okay, we discussed about the BTP, correct? Correct. So now we understood what is BTP also, and we are using the business application studio as one of the service in BTP, and we are able to successfully develop the Fiori applications. Clear? So this is what which I want to show you. Now coming back to the 1 second, I'm just opening. Okay, so now let's this is overall topics which we want to discuss. We have covered. Now I'm going to the topics which I'm going to cover in the training. I'll start with HTML5, then I'll move to CSS, then JavaScript, then I'll start SAP UI5 with all the things, bootstrap, initializing, architecture, libraries, JSON models, fragments, properties, troubleshootings, split apps, resource bundles, web ID, crude operations, smart forms, developing UFI with expand, create deep entities, developing custom Fiori applications in business application studio. Okay, then SAP, what is SAP Fiori, what is catalog, styles, groups, spaces, pages, everything we are going to develop. Then afterwards, we are going to use SAP Cloud Transport Management Service in BTP to move our UFI application from one sub account to another sub account. We'll integrate to our UFI application from Bash to the GitHub, and then from GitHub to the BTP using CI/CD in BTP, as well as we'll discuss SAP Fiori elements, and we'll discuss one Fiori element app. Then we will develop the SAP NetWeaver gateway using Odata. All the crude operations we are going to do backend, expand. We are going to do create deep entity. We are going to do from the backend, and that will consume in the Fiori applications, right? So this is what which I'm covering in the training. Okay, so now coming back to the when I'm going to start the new batch, around I think it will be March 11th or 12th. I'm going to start a new batch on this ECP Perfect. Okay, so that's all guys for training. Any questions?
So, Papi, this training is rap also there or only
No,
for
no, RAP
theory?
is different. RAP will be in April, next month, April month I'll start RAP. This month
Okay,
is UFI. Currently, CAPM is going on. Then
okay,
afterwards, Wi-Fi will start around 13th, I think. That's what I said. Around 12th or 11th or 12th. CAP is currently going. That will complete. I'll start UFI. Then I'll start next month RAP.
okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's all, guys. Thanks for
thank you.
joining. Thanks. Bye.